From Belief to Breakthrough: How to Turn Thoughts into Extraordinary Results, by David Russo. Chapter 1. From Awareness to Action. Change begins in awareness, but awareness alone is not enough. Recognizing the thoughts, beliefs, and habits that shape your life is powerful. Yet the real transformation occurs when that awareness fuels deliberate action. You've listened to the audiobook Change Your Thoughts, Change Your Results by David Russo. You understand the mechanics of thought, belief, and habit. Now, it's time to bridge the gap between knowing and doing, between insight and results. The difference between a life of potential and a life of achievement lies in the actions you take once awareness sets in. The first step is to identify what matters most to you. Not all actions produce breakthroughs. Only those aligned with your deepest values and ambitions will lead to extraordinary results. Take a moment to ask yourself, which areas of my life are producing results that inspire me? Which areas feel stagnant or unsatisfying? Awareness of your current reality is the foundation of transformation. You cannot change what you do not see. The act of noticing, without judgment, creates the clarity necessary to make intentional choices. Once you have clarity, it is time to act. Action transforms awareness into results. Yet, not all action is equal. Random or reactive effort rarely produces significant outcomes. Breakthrough action is purposeful, strategic, and aligned with your goals. This is where many people stumble. They think effort alone guarantees results. But true breakthroughs come from conscious action, informed by awareness and guided by your values. Begin by mapping out your desired results. What is it that you truly want to achieve? Be specific. Vague intentions like "I want to be successful" or "I want to be happier" lack the direction needed to create momentum. Instead, define measurable outcomes and tangible goals. Awareness without specificity is like holding a map without landmarks. You may be moving, but you could go in circles. Next, assess the actions you are currently taking. Are they aligned with your desired results? Many people unknowingly sabotage themselves by repeating habits and behaviors that produce mediocre outcomes. Awareness allows you to identify these patterns, but action allows you to correct them. Replace actions that no longer serve your goals with deliberate behaviors that move you forward. Another critical aspect of turning awareness into action is consistency. One inspired effort may feel good, but it rarely produces lasting change. Sustained, aligned action is what compounds over time to produce extraordinary results. It is not about doing everything perfectly. It is about showing up every day and making choices that are consistent with your vision. Small, intentional actions repeated daily lead to momentum that can carry you far beyond what you initially imagined. Finally, embrace accountability. Awareness and action are powerful, but they become unstoppable when combined with responsibility. Hold yourself accountable for your progress, track your results, and adjust your strategies as needed. The act of taking ownership transforms effort into empowerment. You are no longer at the mercy of circumstances. You are actively shaping your life. In this book, we will explore the practical steps to take your inner transformation and convert it into measurable breakthroughs. You will learn how to set powerful goals, design actionable plans, overcome obstacles, leverage support systems, and sustain extraordinary results. But it all begins here, with the recognition that awareness without action is wasted potential, and action without awareness is unfocused effort. By uniting these two forces, you unlock the power to create a life of intentional results. Your journey from belief to breakthrough begins with one simple choice: to act deliberately and consistently in alignment with your highest vision. Every thought, every decision, and every action you take from this point forward has the potential to transform not just your life, but the world around you. Chapter 2. Setting Breakthrough Goals. Awareness and action form the foundation for transformation, but without clear goals, action lacks direction. Goals are the compass that guide your energy, focus, and effort toward meaningful results. Setting breakthrough goals isn't about choosing something ordinary or easily attainable. It's about identifying outcomes that challenge you, excite you, and align with your highest vision. These are goals that stretch your capabilities, expand your perspective, and inspire persistent effort. The first step in setting breakthrough goals is clarity. Clarity requires specificity. A goal must be concrete and measurable, not vague or abstract. Saying "I want to be successful" or "I want more money" is not enough. Breakthrough goals define exactly what success looks like and when it will be achieved. For example, a more precise goal might be, "I will increase my income by 30% over the next 12 months by launching a new service and expanding my client base." Notice the difference. The goal is specific, measurable, and actionable. Clarity gives your mind a target to focus on, and when your mind is focused, your actions naturally align. Next, evaluate alignment with your values. A breakthrough goal must resonate deeply with who you are and what you believe in. Goals disconnected from your values create friction, resistance, and a sense of emptiness, even if achieved. Ask yourself, does this goal reflect my true priorities? Will achieving this goal bring meaning and fulfillment to my life? Goals rooted in authenticity are powerful because they ignite intrinsic motivation. Motivation that comes from within is far more sustainable than external rewards or societal expectations. Ambition is another hallmark of breakthrough goals. These goals push you beyond comfort and habitual thinking. They challenge your beliefs about what is possible and expand your potential. However, ambition without strategy can lead to frustration. That's why setting breakthrough goals requires balancing boldness with realism. The goals should be achievable, but not without effort, learning, and persistence. They should stretch your capabilities while inspiring confidence that success is within reach if you act consistently. Once your goals are clear, aligned, and ambitious, break them into actionable steps. Large goals can feel overwhelming if approached all at once, but when divided into smaller, manageable milestones, they become achievable and motivating. Each small success reinforces your belief in your ability to reach the ultimate outcome, creating momentum and strengthening your confidence. Milestones act as checkpoints, keeping you accountable and helping you adjust strategies when necessary. It is also essential to attach timeframes to your goals. Deadlines create urgency and focus your energy. Without a timeline, goals drift into vague intentions, and action loses its priority. A clear timeframe encourages discipline and prevents procrastination. It transforms your goal from an abstract dream into a tangible commitment. Finally, write your goals down and review them regularly. The act of writing reinforces your intentions and signals to your subconscious mind that these outcomes matter. Reviewing your goals keeps them top of mind, allowing you to adjust your actions and beliefs in alignment with your vision. Visualization and affirmations can further strengthen your commitment, making the desired results feel achievable long before they manifest. Setting breakthrough goals is more than a planning exercise. It is a declaration of your potential. It communicates to yourself, to the universe, and to those around you that you are ready to act intentionally, courageously, and persistently to create extraordinary results. When done correctly, goals become magnets for opportunity, focus, and energy. They transform awareness into purpose-driven action and lay the foundation for the breakthroughs you seek. The process of goal setting is the bridge between knowing what you want and achieving it. By defining precise, ambitious, and aligned goals, breaking them into actionable steps, and committing fully to their pursuit, you harness the power to convert belief into tangible results. Every action you take from here becomes a deliberate step toward the life you envision. Chapter 3. Mapping your beliefs to your results. Goals set the direction, but beliefs determine whether you will reach them. Your beliefs act like an internal operating system, quietly influencing every thought, decision, and action you take. They are the unseen drivers of results. If your beliefs are aligned with your goals, they propel you forward with energy and clarity. If they are limiting, they act as invisible brakes, sabotaging effort and creating frustration, no matter how motivated you feel. Understanding the connection between your beliefs and your outcomes is essential to turning intention into breakthrough results. The first step is to identify your core beliefs. This requires reflection and honesty. Ask yourself, what do I truly believe about my abilities, my worth, and what is possible in my life? Many beliefs operate below conscious awareness, shaping your actions without your realization. For example, if you believe deep down that success is only for other people, you may unconsciously avoid opportunities, underperform, or settle for less than you are capable of achieving. Recognizing these hidden beliefs is the first step in transforming them into empowering principles. Once identified, examine the impact of each belief on your goals. Are they supportive or restrictive? Beliefs that empower you tend to inspire action, focus, and resilience. Limiting beliefs, on the other hand, create hesitation, fear, and self-doubt. Mapping beliefs to results helps you see the direct cause and effect relationship between what you think and what you achieve. For instance, if you aspire to increase your income, but you hold a belief that money is hard to earn or not meant for someone like me, this belief will subtly shape your decisions, negotiations, and risk-taking, ultimately limiting your results. Changing a belief requires conscious effort. Beliefs are not facts. They are assumptions reinforced over time through repeated experiences and thought patterns. To transform them, begin by questioning their validity. Ask, is this belief true, or is it a story I've been telling myself? Often, you'll discover that limiting beliefs are outdated, inherited, or based on isolated experiences rather than absolute truths. Once you challenge a belief, you can deliberately replace it with one that supports your goals. For example, replace "I can't achieve this" with "I am capable of learning, growing, and creating the results I desire." The replacement belief should be positive, actionable, and emotionally compelling. Belief transformation is not a one-time event. It requires repetition and reinforcement. Incorporate practices that embed new beliefs into your daily thought patterns. Visualization, affirmations, journaling, and conscious reflection help solidify empowering beliefs. The more you consciously align your thoughts with your desired outcomes, the more your actions will naturally follow, creating a feedback loop of success. It is also crucial to recognize that courage is part of the process. Changing beliefs often challenges long-held assumptions, social expectations, and even fears. It may feel uncomfortable or risky at first, but every breakthrough requires stepping beyond the familiar. Courage does not mean the absence of fear. It means acting in alignment with your goals despite fear. Each step you take against limiting beliefs strengthens your capacity for achievement and expands your sense of what is possible. Finally, map your beliefs to specific results regularly. Ask yourself, which beliefs are helping me achieve my goals and which are holding me back? This mapping exercise provides a clear roadmap for inner transformation and ensures that your thoughts and beliefs are aligned with your desired outcomes. It allows you to consciously choose the beliefs that will accelerate your growth rather than unconsciously allowing old patterns to dictate your results. By understanding and transforming your beliefs, you create a powerful foundation for success. Goals alone cannot produce extraordinary results. It is the alignment of thought, belief, and action that turns intention into reality. Mapping your beliefs to your results ensures that every decision, every effort, and every step you take moves you closer to the breakthroughs you are capable of achieving. In this way, belief becomes not just an abstract idea, but a tangible tool for creating the life you envision. Chapter 4. Building action plans that create real momentum. Understanding your desires, refining your beliefs, and defining your goals give you direction. But without a practical roadmap, even the most inspiring vision remains unrealized. A strong action plan is the link between intention and execution. It transforms ambitious ideas into manageable moves and channels motivation into steady, purposeful progress. In this chapter, we explore how to craft plans that don't just function, but actively propel you toward remarkable outcomes. Clarity is the bedrock of any powerful plan. Every significant goal should be dismantled into clear, doable steps. When objectives stay broad or vague, they can feel overwhelming and trigger avoidance or self-doubt. Breaking them into smaller, specific actions illuminates the way forward and makes consistent effort far more achievable. For example, if your dream is to launch a business, your microsteps might include studying your market, outlining your business model, designing your website, and mapping out your marketing approach, each one concrete, measurable, and aligned with your end vision. The next key ingredient is prioritization. All tasks are not created equal. Some actions move you forward dramatically, while others offer only marginal progress. Identify the tasks that yield the greatest return and tackle them first. Ask yourself, which actions will accelerate my progress the most? Zeroing in on high-leverage steps keeps you focused, eliminates unnecessary work, and prevents you from wasting time on efforts that look productive but don't truly matter. Equally important is sequencing, choosing the right order for your actions. The progression of your steps can generate momentum or slow you down. Some tasks rely on earlier ones being completed, while others can be done in parallel. Thoughtful sequencing reduces delays and keeps your workflow smooth. In business development, for instance, understanding your audience should come before creating marketing materials. Skipping ahead increases the likelihood of missteps. A smart, logical sequence builds dependable traction and turns small successes into major strides. Flexibility must also be woven into your plan. Even the most detailed blueprint can't anticipate every twist and turn. Life evolves, and meaningful growth often requires adjustments. Rigid plans create stress when reality doesn't cooperate. Instead, commit to periodic reviews so you can track your progress, refine your priorities, and pivot when needed. Balancing structure with adaptability ensures you stay aligned with your vision while remaining open to new possibilities and solutions. Time management is another vital component. Giving each task a deadline adds urgency and accountability. Without defined timeframes, important actions can drift indefinitely. Deadlines transform intentions into measurable commitments and help you monitor your pace. Breaking your tasks into daily, weekly, and monthly segments prevents overwhelm and supports sustained momentum. Your action plan should also feel personally meaningful. If your steps don't resonate with your values or identity, motivation will inevitably fade. Ensure that each action supports the larger vision you believe in. When your plan reflects who you are and what matters to you, discipline comes more naturally and the effort feels purposeful. Finally, incorporate accountability. Share your goals with people who support your growth, friends, mentors, or accountability partners. External encouragement strengthens commitment, helps ensure follow-through, and offers fresh perspective. Tracking your progress, acknowledging your achievements, and adjusting your strategy based on what's working keeps you energized and on course. Creating an action plan isn't about perfection. It's about clarity, intention, and consistency. A well-crafted plan turns your aspirations into practical steps and empowers you to pursue your vision with confidence. When your plan aligns with your values, beliefs, and long-term purpose, it becomes a catalyst for momentum, resilience, and extraordinary achievement. What separates achievers from dreamers is the quality of their planning and their willingness to act on that plan day after day. By designing a thoughtful, strategic, and flexible action plan, you set yourself on a deliberate path toward the future you envision. This is where purpose becomes practice, where belief turns into measurable progress. A strong plan doesn't merely outline possibilities. It becomes the pathway that carries you from where you are now to the powerful breakthroughs ahead. Chapter 5. The Power of Steady Effort and Purposeful Habits. A plan can set your direction, but without reliable follow-through, even the sharpest strategy loses its impact. Consistency is the bridge between your goals and your achievements, the steady rhythm of intentional actions that turns ideas into reality. In this chapter, we explore how routine, repetition, and committed effort create momentum, reshape your mindset, and unlock extraordinary outcomes. Habits form the backbone of consistent behavior. Built through repetition, they become automatic responses that lighten your mental load while helping you move forward with greater efficiency. When your habits support your ambitions, they act like engines propelling you ahead, even when motivation is low. When they conflict with your goals, they quietly impede your progress. The first step toward mastery is recognizing which habits lift you up and which ones subtly undermine your growth. Consistency grows from small, deliberate actions. Breakthrough moments rarely come from a single burst of effort. They emerge from thousands of tiny steps taken day after day. A book takes shape sentence by sentence, not in one creative surge. The same holds true for fitness, skill development, business, and personal evolution. Minor, repeated actions accumulate into major achievements over time. The objective isn't perfection, it's persistence, showing up, especially when it feels difficult. To cultivate habits that support your aspirations, you need structure. Identify the behaviors that matter most and weave them into your daily schedule. One effective approach is habit stacking, connecting a new behavior to something you already do regularly. Want to begin journaling? Attach it to a ritual like drinking your morning coffee or winding down at night. Linking new actions to established routines makes them far easier to adopt and sustain. Reinforcement is essential for making habits stick. Acknowledge your consistency and keep a visual record of your progress. Planners, trackers, and apps bring clarity and motivation. Watching your streaks grow deepens your dedication and gradually transforms intentional discipline into an automatic pattern. Consistency also requires discipline and resilience. Motivation fluctuates with your mood and circumstances. Discipline keeps you anchored to your priorities regardless of how inspired you feel. Resilience helps you recover quickly from disruptions or setbacks without derailing your progress. Together, they safeguard your habits when life becomes challenging and ensure your long-term momentum stays intact. Another key principle is the compound effect. Small, positive actions performed repeatedly become far more powerful than they seem in isolation. An hour of daily learning may feel insignificant in the moment, but over months and years it produces genuine expertise. The same principle shapes financial growth, physical health, and personal development. Small steps taken consistently lead to extraordinary gains. Consistency is what transforms minor efforts into exponential results. At the deepest level, Your habits must align with your identity. When your routines reflect who you believe you are, they feel natural and sustainable. If you see yourself as someone who values wellness, healthy foods, and regular exercise become effortless parts of your lifestyle. If your habits oppose your self-perception, they drain your energy. Aligning your identity, beliefs, and daily behaviors creates harmony and reinforces enduring change. In the end, consistency is what converts intention into progress and progress into achievement. Habits provide the structure that supports meaningful success, guiding you through obstacles and helping you maintain direction. With persistent, aligned action, no matter how small, you activate the compounding effects that shape your life. Consistency and habits are more than tools. They're a way of living. They represent a daily commitment to your vision, your growth, and your responsibility to yourself. When your routines align with your aspirations, they become powerful forces that transform potential into measurable, lasting results. Chapter 6. Mastering Mindset Under Pressure. No matter how clear your goals, aligned your beliefs, or disciplined your habits, life will inevitably present pressure, stress, and challenges. How you respond to these situations determines whether you stay on track toward your breakthroughs or allow setbacks to derail your progress. Mastering your mindset under pressure is essential because your thoughts, beliefs, and emotions in high-stakes moments shape your decisions and, ultimately, your results. Pressure is a natural part of growth. It often arises when you step beyond your comfort zone, pursue ambitious goals, or take responsibility for significant outcomes. While pressure can feel uncomfortable, it is not inherently negative. In fact, it can serve as a catalyst for focus, resilience, and performance. The key is learning to manage your mindset so that pressure becomes a tool rather than a hindrance. The first step is awareness of your emotional state. Pressure triggers emotional and physiological responses, an increased heart rate, tension, or a flood of anxious thoughts that can cloud judgment. By pausing to observe your emotions without judgment, you create a space between stimulus and response. This pause allows you to consciously choose actions that align with your goals rather than react impulsively. Practices such as deep breathing, mindfulness, or even a simple mental reset can help you regain composure and focus. Next, cultivate a growth-oriented perspective. Under pressure, many people default to self-doubt or catastrophic thinking. I can't handle this, or I'm going to fail. A growth mindset, on the other hand, reframes pressure as an opportunity to learn, adapt, and improve. By focusing on what you can control, asking what can I learn from this, and seeing challenges as stepping stones rather than obstacles, you turn stress into a driver of development. This perspective reduces fear and increases confidence in your ability to navigate difficulty. Preparation is another powerful tool for mastering pressure. Confidence under stress is often the result of consistent practice and deliberate preparation. When you anticipate challenges and mentally rehearse responses, you create neural pathways that guide behavior automatically in high-pressure situations. Athletes, performers, and leaders use this principle to maintain clarity, focus, and composure when stakes are highest. Preparation reduces uncertainty, which is a major source of pressure, and allows your actions to remain deliberate rather than reactive. Resilience is closely tied to mindset under pressure. Resilient individuals view setbacks as temporary and specific rather than permanent and universal. They maintain perspective and focus on solutions rather than dwelling on problems. Resilience is strengthened by reflective practices, self-compassion, and a commitment to forward momentum. By acknowledging challenges without letting them define you, you maintain alignment with your goals and prevent pressure from undermining long-term progress. Visualization and mental rehearsal are also highly effective. Imagine yourself succeeding under pressure, calmly executing the steps necessary to achieve your goal. This practice trains your subconscious mind to respond with confidence and clarity when real pressure arises. Coupled with affirmations that reinforce your capabilities, visualization becomes a potent strategy for mastering stress and maintaining peak performance. Finally, cultivate a support system. Even the most resilient individuals benefit from guidance, mentorship, and accountability. Sharing challenges and gaining perspective from trusted allies reduces emotional burden and provides strategic insights. Surrounding yourself with people who encourage growth and reinforce empowering beliefs strengthens your ability to maintain composure and clarity under pressure. Mastering mindset under pressure is not about avoiding stress, it is about embracing it with skill and awareness. By developing emotional awareness, a growth perspective, preparation, resilience, visualization, and support, you transform pressure into a catalyst for action and breakthrough results. Every high-stakes moment becomes an opportunity to reinforce your beliefs, test your habits, and prove to yourself that you are capable of achieving extraordinary outcomes. Pressure will always exist, but mastery of mindset ensures that it serves your goals rather than sabotages them. Your ability to think clearly, act decisively, and stay aligned with your vision under pressure is a defining factor in turning beliefs into results and intentions into breakthroughs. Chapter 7. Turning feedback into fuel for growth. No system, whether it's a plan, a belief, or a daily habit, works effectively without a way to measure and adjust. A feedback loop is the mechanism that tells you what's progressing, what's stalling, and what needs to change. Without it, even disciplined effort can drift off target. High performers distinguish themselves by using feedback to elevate their results. In this chapter, we explore how to transform feedback into a powerful catalyst for accelerated growth and meaningful breakthroughs. The first step in using feedback wisely is learning to welcome it. Whether it comes from your own observations or from others, feedback is rarely all good or all bad. It's simply information, signals pointing to what aligns with your goals and what doesn't. Many people tense up when they hear critique, assuming it's a judgment on their worth. The shift in perspective is crucial. Feedback isn't a verdict, it's data. When you stop treating it emotionally and start treating it analytically, you unlock the ability to act on what actually matters. Begin by seeking external input from people you trust. Mentors, colleagues, and peers often see things you may be too close to notice. They can highlight blind spots, suggest new angles, or validate progress you've overlooked. When requesting feedback, ask targeted questions such as, "What's one adjustment that would make a noticeable difference?" Or "Where do you think I could refine my approach?" Clear questions yield clear direction, making it easier to identify your next steps. Internal feedback is just as valuable. This comes from monitoring your own outcomes and reflecting on your actions. Track your metrics, evaluate your progress, and regularly take inventory of what's working. Journaling, reviewing weekly wins and setbacks, or analyzing performance data can reveal patterns and habits you might otherwise miss. This kind of honest self-review strengthens your ability to fine-tune your methods and stay aligned with your goals. Of course, adaptation takes courage. Receiving information is easy. Implementing it is the real challenge. Acting on feedback often means making changes that feel uncomfortable, revising routines, questioning long-held assumptions, or trying unfamiliar strategies. Resistance is normal, but growth depends on your willingness to evolve. Even small, consistent adjustments can produce profound long-term gains. Top achievers use feedback to iterate rapidly. They treat each attempt not as a final outcome but as a test. Errors aren't failures, they're data points. By continuously experimenting, evaluating, and adjusting, you create a perpetual improvement loop that moves you steadily toward your vision. With time, this adaptability multiplies your progress, sharpening your skills and increasing your effectiveness in powerful ways. It's equally important to filter the feedback you receive. Not every opinion deserves the same weight. Before acting on advice, consider the credibility of the source, the context in which it's given, and whether it aligns with your personal objectives. Some feedback reflects bias or irrelevance rather than insight. Stay discerning and focus on guidance that genuinely supports your aims. Ultimately, you'll want to cultivate a mindset of resilient learning. Feedback can reveal uncomfortable truths, but those moments offer valuable opportunities for improvement. Instead of interpreting them as setbacks, use them to strengthen your thinking, refine your habits, and elevate your strategy. The ability to learn from criticism without losing confidence is a hallmark of successful people. It keeps you focused, grounded, and moving forward with purpose. Leveraging feedback isn't a task you complete once, it's an ongoing rhythm. Observing your results, seeking insights, evaluating honestly, and adjusting continuously creates a flexible, responsive framework that keeps you aligned with your goals. With openness, discernment, and adaptability, you ensure that growth becomes a natural, repeating process. When embraced fully, feedback becomes your internal compass. Adaptation turns that guidance into real movement. Mastering this cycle keeps your beliefs, plans, and actions in harmony, and transforms obstacles into lessons, possibilities into progress, and potential into tangible success. Chapter 8. The Power of Focus and Removing Distractions. Focus is the driving force behind meaningful achievement. Even with strong beliefs, solid habits, and carefully crafted plans, real progress is impossible without consistent attention to what matters most. In a world overflowing with alerts, endless information, and constant multitasking, Claiming your focus has become a critical skill. The ability to eliminate distractions is what transforms intention into real, measurable outcomes. The foundation of strong focus is a clear sense of purpose. When you understand exactly what you want and why it matters, choosing what deserves your attention becomes simple. Your goals and values function like a mental sorting system, helping you identify what is essential and what can be ignored. Without this clarity, your energy is scattered across low-impact tasks that dilute your momentum. Begin by identifying your top priorities and writing them down. These are your non-negotiables, the tasks directly linked to your vision and results. After defining your priorities, the next step is removing distractions. A distraction is anything that pulls your mind away from meaningful work. Many interruptions seem small, checking messages, glancing at social media, but even brief breaks in attention weaken your focus and slow your progress. Create designated periods of deep work where you concentrate fully on important tasks. Silence notifications, close unrelated apps or tabs, and shape your environment to support uninterrupted concentration. The aim is to build a space where your mind can fully immerse itself in the work that matters. Strengthening focus also requires embracing single-tasking. Though multitasking is often glamorized, research consistently shows that splitting attention lowers efficiency and leads to poorer results. High performers know it's far more effective to complete one meaningful task with full intention than to juggle many halfway. Concentrated effort produces sharper, faster, and more meaningful progress. Managing your mental energy is another essential aspect of focus. Attention is a finite resource, and stress, fatigue, or taking on too much can deplete it quickly. Align your most demanding or high-priority tasks with your peak energy periods, and save lighter responsibilities for when your energy dips. Add in restorative habits, brief breaks, physical movement, or mindfulness practices to refresh your mind throughout the day. Protecting your energy ensures that you can sustain focus without burning out. Boundaries play a crucial role as well. Learning to say no to distractions, unnecessary obligations, or misaligned opportunities is key to maintaining focus. Time is limited, and every commitment should be weighed against your long-term goals. Saying no to what doesn't support your vision preserves the attention needed for what truly matters. Visualization can further sharpen your focus. Mentally rehearsing your goals, tasks, and desired outcomes conditions your mind to take purposeful action. This mental practice strengthens the neural pathways tied to success, making it easier to stay focused even when interruptions arise. Equally important is recognizing internal distractions, self-doubt, negative thoughts, or mental wandering. These internal disruptions can derail focus just as easily as external noise. Practices like mindfulness, journaling, or taking a moment to breathe and realign help you return your attention to the present task. When internal distractions appear, acknowledge them briefly and guide your mind back with intention. Mastering focus and eliminating distractions isn't about being flawless. It's about intentionally directing your attention and protecting your mental energy. Focus amplifies your efforts, turning consistent action into significant results, while distractions dilute your power and slow your progress. By clarifying your priorities, designing deep work habits, focusing on one task at a time, managing your energy, creating boundaries, and practicing mental discipline, you build an environment where exceptional results can flourish. Focus becomes the amplifier of your belief, the spark behind your action, and the connector between your goals and your breakthroughs. When your attention is fully devoted to what matters, distractions lose their influence, and your results grow exponentially. Chapter 9. Rising above fear and self-imposed limits. Fear and inner barriers rarely enter the scene loudly. Instead, they operate in the background, shaping your mindset, steering your behavior, and quietly shrinking your sense of what's possible. Over time, these invisible patterns become mental routines that slow progress and block transformation. Moving past them isn't optional, it's necessary. As long as these internal stories remain unchallenged, they will restrict your goals, habits, and best intentions. This chapter walks you through identifying, questioning, and reshaping the internal narratives that keep you stuck. The first step is awareness. Fear often disguises itself as logic, and limiting beliefs frequently masquerade as undeniable truths. Thoughts like "I'm not capable" or "people like me never make it" aren't facts. They're interpretations built from old experiences and assumptions. Begin noticing how you speak to yourself. Look for recurring thoughts that chip away at your confidence. Write them down so you can examine them from a distance. This helps you see the distortion and separate what's real from what's imagined. When a belief becomes visible, it becomes transformable. With awareness comes exploration. Meet your fears with curiosity rather than avoidance. Ask yourself, is this belief actually true? What evidence supports it? What evidence contradicts it? And even if a small part is true, does it have to dictate my next step? Most fears are relics from the past or exaggerations of unlikely scenarios. Investigating them logically weakens their influence and makes it possible to move forward even with fear present. Courage isn't the elimination of fear, it's the choice to act alongside it. Many of your limiting beliefs originate from early conditioning, social expectations, or the words of influential people. To release them, you must reauthor your internal dialogue. Transform statements like, "This can't be done," into, "I can grow into this." This isn't naive positivity. It's intentionally choosing interpretations that open doors instead of closing them. As you reinforce these empowering perspectives, your behaviors begin to reflect them organically. Action is one of the strongest counters to fear. Hesitation magnifies anxiety, while small steps weaken it. Break intimidating goals into pieces you can handle and begin exactly where discomfort shows up. Every action provides real evidence that you are capable of moving through fear. Over time, the belief that I can't is replaced by proof that you can. Visualization deepens this shift. Spend time imagining yourself meeting challenges with composure, staying grounded when pressure rises, and confidently pursuing opportunities you once avoided. Mental rehearsal trains your subconscious to respond with clarity instead of panic. With repetition, visualization boosts your confidence and reduces the emotional weight fear carries. Your perspective on failure also shapes your internal landscape. Many limiting beliefs are born from past disappointments. When you reinterpret failure as information, feedback rather than condemnation, it loses its sting. Setbacks become stepping stones, not stopping points. This reframe dissolves fear and turns challenges into catalysts for growth. The people you surround yourself with make a difference too. Seek out individuals who support your evolution, challenge your assumptions, and recognize your strengths. Encouraging friends, mentors, and communities help you see possibilities you've overlooked and nudge you toward the version of yourself you're striving to create. Letting go of fear and dismantling limiting beliefs is a continuous practice, not a single breakthrough. Awareness, inquiry, reframing, action, visualization, and a strong support system work together to gradually dissolve inner resistance. As you repeatedly confront fear and replace restrictive thoughts with empowering ones, confidence grows and clarity expands. Fear and limiting beliefs are not permanent traits, they're learned patterns, and anything learned can be unlearned. When you commit to this inner work, hesitation shifts into courage, doubt transforms into trust, and dormant potential evolves into lived experience. Each belief you unravel brings you closer to the person you're meant to be and the life you're ready to create. Chapter 10. Sustaining growth and creating a legacy. Reaching a breakthrough is only part of the journey. True success lies not just in achieving goals, but in sustaining growth over time and using your accomplishments to create a lasting impact. Growth that is temporary or inconsistent can easily fade, leaving potential unfulfilled. This chapter focuses on strategies to maintain momentum, reinforce empowering beliefs and habits, and leverage your progress to leave a meaningful legacy. The first step in sustaining growth is continuous reflection and learning. Life is dynamic, and circumstances, goals, and challenges constantly evolve. What worked yesterday may not be sufficient tomorrow. Regular reflection, through journaling, self-assessment, or structured review sessions, allows you to evaluate your progress, identify areas for improvement, and adjust strategies accordingly. This habit ensures that your growth remains intentional and adaptive rather than accidental or stagnant. Another critical factor is reinforcing habits and beliefs consistently. Habits and beliefs are the foundation of your results, but they require maintenance. Even small lapses can undermine progress if left unchecked. Daily practices, routines, and rituals that align with your goals serve as a stabilizing force, ensuring that your mindset and actions remain aligned with your desired outcomes. The key is consistency over intensity. Small, deliberate actions performed reliably over time produce lasting impact. Sustaining growth also requires resilience and adaptability. Challenges, setbacks, and unforeseen changes are inevitable. How you respond determines whether growth continues or stalls. Resilience is cultivated through self-awareness, emotional regulation, and a mindset that views obstacles as opportunities rather than threats. Adaptability allows you to pivot strategies without losing sight of your ultimate objectives. Together, These qualities create a foundation for enduring progress even in the face of uncertainty. As you sustain your growth, it becomes natural to think about impact beyond yourself. Creating a legacy is about using your achievements, knowledge, and influence to benefit others. This can take many forms: mentoring, sharing insights, leading by example, or contributing to causes that align with your values. A legacy is not measured solely by personal accomplishments but by the positive effect you have on the lives of others and the systems you touch. When your growth benefits more than yourself, it gains depth, meaning, and durability. Equally important is aligning purpose with action. Growth is sustained when every decision, habit, and effort is connected to a larger purpose. This alignment acts as a compass, guiding choices and prioritizing actions even when distractions, doubts, or difficulties arise. Purpose-driven growth is resilient. It motivates you to persist when progress feels slow and reinforces the importance of maintaining empowering beliefs and disciplined habits. Accountability and community also play a critical role. Sustaining growth is easier when you are supported by individuals who share your vision, challenge your assumptions, and celebrate your progress. Mentors, peers, or accountability partners help maintain focus, provide perspective during challenges, and encourage continued development. Community reinforces the mindset that growth is not a solitary endeavor but a dynamic exchange of ideas, encouragement, and shared experience. Finally, celebrate milestones and reflect on your journey. Recognition of progress, no matter how incremental, reinforces motivation, strengthens belief in your capabilities, and reminds you of the cumulative effect of your consistent actions. Sustaining growth is not only about moving forward, it is about acknowledging the distance traveled and using it as fuel to continue advancing. Sustaining growth and creating a legacy is the culmination of everything explored in this book: clarity of belief, disciplined action, focus, resilience, adaptability, and courage. When you integrate these principles into daily life, you not only achieve breakthrough results but also ensure that your impact endures. Every empowered action, every habit strengthened, and every challenge overcome contributes not just to your personal success but to the larger legacy you leave behind. Growth without continuity is fleeting. A legacy without action is invisible. By sustaining growth and consciously creating a positive impact, you close the loop between belief, action, and outcome, leaving a lasting mark that transcends your own life and inspires others to reach their potential.